Hi, I'm a business owner and I own a jewelry boutique and have been for the past 7 years, and we are located in Kansas City. However, my husband is moving to Frisco and I am moving along with him. I was wondering where's the best place to get information on the culture of Frisco, the trends, and the customer-business relationship.
That is a great question, and you've come to the right place. At Frisco Focus, we set up real-time focus groups to help businesses new to Frisco get better acclimated to the culture. However, first let me introduce myself. I'm Julia Linhart. I'm a junior here at Frisco, and this is my first year in ISM. I'm studying entrepreneurship, and my mentor is Mr. Ray Thoma, who's here tonight. He's the owner of the Float Spot, and I just wanted to start off by saying thank you so much, Mr. Thoma, for giving me the opportunity to be under your mentorship and learn about owning a business and everything in between. None of this would have been possible without your help, and I really appreciate it. So thank you. So kind of an overview of what I'll be talking about today. I'm going to first start off talking about myself and kind of why I chose ISM and to study entrepreneurship. I'm going to talk about the interview process and how, as a class, we got to interview with professionals in our field. Then I'm going to talk about the research that I did over my topic of study, entrepreneurship, and how that led me to my original work, which is the kind of the halfway point and all the build-up of all the research that we had done this year. And then my final product, which I have made, which is the combination of everything I've done for the entire year of ISM, and then my future goals and what I plan to do after this year. So about me, I have one younger brother and one younger sister. My brother is a sophomore here, and my sister is in 4th grade at Allen Elementary. I am committed to Oklahoma State for soccer. I love soccer. I eat, live, and breathe it. I've played since I was 6, so it's kind of part of my life now. I love to ski. I love when our family goes every year, and we usually go to Colorado, and I always look forward to it during spring break. And something about me is that I'm always busy. I always have to have something on my hands and keep doing something, and I think that's part of the reason why that entrepreneurship kind of interests me, because as an entrepreneur, you always have something going on. You always have some way to improve your business or keep advancing your technology or something, keep wanting to try to do something. That's really what interests me. I decided to take ISM because I wanted to discover what I want to do in the future. At the beginning of this year, I didn't really know what I'm good at or what I want to do. I had no clue, but now that I've chosen entrepreneurship, I really feel that I have a better idea and how I really like the business aspect of things and owning a business, and it has really interested me and given me a great opportunity to help me know what I want to do in college and in the future. My dad has also been an inspiration for me to pursue studying entrepreneurship because he once owned a business, and I really saw the freedom that he had and the creativity he could use and how he really loved doing what he did, and he had the passion to do it. So this year we were supposed to conduct 5 informational interviews with professionals in our field of study, and this was a really great opportunity because it gave real-world experience to me, and I had never been in a real-world experience interview before, so this was a really great first-time experience, and I learned a lot from it. My first interview that I did was Mr. Person. He was the creator of Coupon Media, which is a little business that helps stores get coupons to customers. And this was a really great first interview because it was right down the road, and when I walked in, there was an inflatable doll sitting at the front desk, and so that kind of relaxed me, and it was like a really laid-back setting, and it was really beneficial to me because I was not as nervous. The one thing that I took away from his interview was that you have to learn from your mistakes. He said that he could recall over 50 or more mistakes that he made, whether major or minor, and he was still there sitting in his chair working and had a great office, and he was still successful, and he learned from those mistakes, and that's really what he emphasized in his interview, is that you have to learn from your mistakes to be successful. My second interview was with Mr. Calandro Alisat, who created The Big Game, and it is a football-making company. He creates footballs for many colleges, TCU, OSU, A&M, and many more. This was a cool cool thing that he did was that he put chips inside the footballs so you can tell like who kicked the ball, who played in the game, what the stats were of that game. And I thought that was really cool because it showed that he wanted to continue have the latest and greatest technology and advancing his company to make it the best that it can be, and it really showed how passionate he was about what he did. He really taught me that you can't be the best at everything. As an entrepreneur, you're going to have weaknesses. You're going to have points where you're not going to be the best at something. However, the way that people are successful and make their company great is that they work with people around them who make their weaknesses stronger and who work at every part of the business to make it the best it can be. And that's something that I really found to be true, because personally I'm not a creative person, but I could work with others around me to help advertise or get people in a creative way to make my business stronger. My third interview was a phone interview with Mr. Carter, and he was the founder of Bottle Rocket Apps, and which is an app developer which creates apps for Coca-Cola, Chick-fil-A, ESPN, History Channel, and many more. He was a really passionate guy about and what he did, and his story was really cool and how he created it. He was listening to Steve Jobs on TV talking about how he was opening the App Store to third-party developers. So right then and there, he got his pen and paper, started sketching ideas on apps and how to develop them. He actually put an ad on Craigslist to find people to help him create those apps. And I thought that was really cool because he was willing to do whatever it took to get out there and start something new for the App Store. I learned from him that you should do something that you're passionate about, and then you'll succeed. He told me that if you don't do something that you like, if you're bored with it, you're not going to be great at it. And I think this is really true in whatever you do, not just in the occupation that you are in. If you're passionate about it, you will succeed because you love it, you're willing to do whatever it takes to be successful. My fourth interview was with Mr. Dallender, who is the founder of Snappy Salads. It's like a little salad stop for lunch, and it's kind of like Chipotle but with salads. And his story was also really cool. He worked in the restaurant business and wanted a fast, easy, healthy place to stop at in between work and the lunch break. So he created his own restaurant, Snappy Salads. And he told me that the seed of every business, where it is born, is wouldn't it be great if? It's an idea. Someone starts with an idea and then creates it into something else. So his phrase was, wouldn't it be great if there was a fast and healthy lunch option for business people to go stop in for 30 minutes, eat, and go back to work? Wouldn't it be great if there was a chip inside footballs that could tell the stats of the game? So that's kind of the phrase that starts all businesses, and it basically just starts with an idea and grows from there. So I thought that was a really interesting way to look at it. My fifth interview was with Mr. Thoma, which is actually my mentor now. He is the owner of the Float Spot, which is a hydro massage place. He actually got his business started when he was in Australia and overheard someone talking about these little egg things where you can lay in it and it like help you relax and help your muscles relax. And so he did 13 months of research, and this really showed me how you have to continue your research and you have to keep going on and learn more about it, and before you can start anything you have to be knowledgeable about the topic that you're in. He told me that entrepreneurs put in more work after 5 o'clock, and this is arguable, but however, entrepreneurs, this is a lifelong project. You're wanting to continually progress your business and are willing to do whatever it takes, whether it be staying up late at night to do it. So that was really cool, and I chose him to be my mentor for a lot of reasons. One being he was located in Frisco and he knew a lot about the city, so he was really knowledgeable in that topic. He was also very welcoming and was interested in the ISM program, so that really helped with him wanting to be a part of my work and teaching me things, and him being enthusiastic on what I did. So at the end of all these interviews, I kind of was questioning whether entrepreneurship could even be taught. And I asked all of the interviewees that I interviewed, and all of them said no, it cannot be taught. However, they did say that it can be nurtured and informed. And this is a question that has been in my mind throughout this entire journey. Can it even be taught? And it cannot, but fundamentally it can. business, you can teach the business aspects of it. Owning a business, the money, marketing, advertising, you can teach that, but you have to have it, someone has to have it in you to be an entrepreneur. And that's kind of what I'm still figuring out, if I have the motivation to own a business and keep it going. Some quotes that said were, you have to have the heart and soul for it. I'm not sure you can teach someone to have the proper risk profile, because taking risks are a big part of owning business. If you don't take any risks, you're not going to improve your business, and that's how you become great, is by taking risks. And it can be nurtured and informed, but they were an entrepreneur before it all. So I thought that was an interesting topic to question. Then we, as a class, we went to the University of North Texas, and we got to sit in on a couple college classes. And this was a really great experience because I had never been to college class before, because we're still in high school, of course. And so I went to 3. I chose the ones that would help me learn more about the business side of entrepreneurship. Going back to the question, you can't teach entrepreneurship, so I chose the ones that would help me with the business side of it. I chose business ethics and social responsibilities, where I learned about the employer-employee relationship. I also learned in leadership that you have to be a leader in your actions and your words, and that entrepreneurs are kind of the head guy, the central person, and they should lead everyone with positive attitude. And in marketing and money, I learned that managing your money and getting people in and out the door is an important part of the success of your business. So all 3 of these classes were important in entrepreneurship and owning a business. So I looked back in the interviews, because it was time to kind of start my original work, and I kept thinking about the questions that all of the entrepreneurs had. They kept bringing up, like, where should I put my business? Whether it should be on a main street, kind of in the back, is it a destination place? What city? Who's going to want to use my service? Will it appeal to older people, younger people, women, men? What type of people will use my service? Again, women, men. How much will it cost? The cost is a big part of kind of where you want to be and how you want to keep your business up. So they would always question that about themselves and their ability. And are there competitors in Frisco, and not necessarily in Frisco, but the city that they were going to be in? Because you don't want to be next to a lot of competitors where you're not going to be selling anything or servicing anything. However, you do want a little good competition to make people come into your store. And they even question, is it a good idea? Because most entrepreneurs doubt themselves, don't think it's going to work, and they want to know, is their idea even a good idea? So for my original work, I wanted to answer these questions for them. I wanted to make something that could answer these questions that all entrepreneurs have at the start of their business. So the solution was to create a website. And for my original work, which is basically all my research from the beginning of the year. And my original work is kind of the blueprint of my final product, and my final product is just a perfected version of it. So I'm going to walk through how I made it, and when I talk about my original work, it's just a continuing process of it into my final product. So this is a picture of one of the first trains on the railroad passing through Frisco in 1902. So 110 years ago, this was what was in Frisco. It was some grassland, a telephone pole, and that train. There was nothing. And now, it's kind of hard to see, but that railroad is that line right there, and so it still goes through Frisco, but now there's towns around it. There's toll roads, there's major roads, there's Little Elm Lake, other cities nearby, and everything is growing. And this kind of comparison just shows how fast Frisco is growing and what it wants to be in the future. And that's kind of what my website is based on, is the growth of Frisco and how important development is to the city and how fast we want to grow. So me and my mentor, we used a lot of information from the Community Impact newspaper, which is a local newspaper that has all things Frisco. And it was really interesting. It had some cool stuff in there. Businesses coming in, relocations, not just business side, but also, recreational side too. So this was a poll in the newspaper that said, how important do you think incentives are for Frisco to draw new businesses in? And 60% of the population said that it is extremely important. And when I asked my mentor kind of what incentives are, he said, well, this is it, and he explained me. So, for example, Nebraska Furniture Market, when they went to the colony said, you'll get revenue from the hotel tax, and we'll pay for all your infrastructure if you come to the colony and you come to our city only. And so that's kind of why they came. So the colony now gets money from Nebraska Furniture Market and all the people coming in just to buy their furniture. So this relates to Frisco because, again, all the developments along the $5 billion mile, the Wade Park, Cowboys headquarters, all of these new businesses that come in and are attracted to those developments will get incentives because it shows that the population will want these new businesses to come in and be a part of this city. A quote that I found was interesting was also, now we need to work with community partners to make sure we get some entertainment districts and destination dining districts. And two things stood out to me kind of with this quote is that community partners and the entertainment and dining. So I personally wanted to base my website off of being a community partner, a partner that people who are coming into the city can come to me for these services and to find information on all the questions they may ask. And this just kind of shows what Frisco wants is entertainment and destination dining districts. So all of these businesses coming in, and that's what they want. So community partners to help get these things. So it's kind of a two-part quote that really summed up my website. And this is just an example of all the different types of businesses coming in, as event center, restaurants, retail shops, and even a hotel. So, okay, so another thing that I based my website off of was the $5 billion mile, which is having Wade Park, Cowboys headquarters, Frisco Station, all these things. This is another diagram of it. It's in between Lebanon and Gaylord Parkway along the Dallas North Tollway. And this is kind of the center of all of the new developments happening. And while it doesn't have to be only restricted to the $5 billion mile, that's really where I was kind of pinpointing my website to, because all of the businesses will be attracted to these developments. And it says that there's going to be a tremendous amount of future development along the Dallas North Tollway corridor. And from these pictures you can see all of these restaurants, these retail shops, hotels, and that's where all these businesses can, when they're coming in, they're new, they're out of town, they come to my website and find the culture, the trends, the relationships between the people so they can maximize their potential success in Frisco. So then I asked myself, how would I literally answer these questions? And I came up with focus groups. Focus groups have a number of benefits for answering questions. They bring up more questions than the businesses want to ask. If it's in a group, you can ask. It brings up much more points because it's a discussion rather than just answering questions. You get multiple people's opinions. You can do different types of people, age groups, gender. There's so much information you can learn from it. However, I didn't know much about focus groups before I started, so I researched it in some of my research assessments and came up with that the main points focus groups is that they cannot know each other, because if they know each other, they're subject to judgment, and this would have skewed opinions and not correct information. So it would just be the best success if people did not know each other, which this could be hard in Frisco since Frisco is a kind of family town, but it would be best if we did that. So then there should be a group leader or a moderator, so to make the questions go more smoothly and everyone make sure they get to the talking point, and it's just a more seamlessly focused group. And then group research is the most effective because, again, there can be multiple opinions. It's more of a discussion rather than just answering questions that businesses provide. And I didn't know this, but my mentor brought it up, is that businesses can select certain culture-related groups. So, for example, say if there was an Indian cuisine coming to Frisco, they could select people of that ethnicity to come in to the focus groups because they will be attracting more of those types of people. And because it is not discriminating any group and it's only used for their opinions, it is not illegal. And I didn't even know that it could be illegal until my mentor kind of brought it up and talked with me about it. And so I thought that was an interesting point that you can make. So you can actually get it down to specific ethnicities if you really wanted to learn more information about the culture of Frisco. And for my final product, I kind of perfected my original work, and this is what I'm going to show you. So this is the actual website. It's called Frisco Focus, and I still have to perfect the pictures. Again, this is not Frisco, this is New York City, so me and my mister are going to go back on Thursday to put back in the pictures, but all the content is there. And so the phrase, the eyes and ears of Frisco, represent how the residents of Frisco are the eyes and ears, are the voices, are the new opinions of Frisco that are voicing their opinions to make Frisco a better city, and they are the heart of the town. So we have a couple pages. The first one is called Concierge, and when you think of concierge, people think of going to a hotel and going to the concierge to get their room keys, the information. They have all the information there, right there at the desk, quick and easy, and you can just stop there and go back to your room. Well, here on this page, it's easy for businesses to come here, and if they know they want to come to Frisco and they only need a location, they come here and they see there's multiple realtors that are listed, and then real estate sites that are listed for lease, and they can easily just look at the map and say, oh, these are some great places that we have suggested for them. And location, 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 that's kind of a known phrase in the business world that my mentor taught me, and how it is important to be in the right location for the success of the business. The second page is for businesses inquiring for a focus group, and we titled it the 5 W's because all businesses know the 5 W's: who, what, where, when, and why. And those are the important questions that they are supposed to ask. My mentor taught me that, and so at the beginning you can see that we have all the different types of focus groups. We have one-on-one, which is kind of one resident of Frisco and the business owner directly talking. Then we have Skype, because now that a lot of people are busy with work, they have kids, all these different types of things going on in their life, we can now use Skype to directly ask them questions about Frisco and the businesses that are coming in, and specific questions. So that's really great benefit of our website, that you can live feed with them, and email if you want to do that way. You can reach more people with email, however it has to be time restricted, so then that the residents will give their only first opinion and not think about, oh, well, this sounds like a good answer. They'll get their real opinions in that. So while individual is beneficial, focus groups are much more effective, because again they will bring up more points, and it's more of a discussion rather than questions. You can also have multiple groups come in, so you'd have 8 to 10 participants in one group, and then you could do another group after that and more groups after that. Or you can continuously inquire for a group, maybe every 6 months, if you want to see how the city is changing and what their views are. So I thought it was really cool how we have different types of focus groups to get the max potential information out of it. And then you just, as a business, you fill in the 5 W's. Who are you? Are you a CEO? Are you a manager? What do you do? Like, what is your business? Is it a mom and pop? Is it a restaurant? Retail? Where do you want to move? Are you a new business coming in? Are you relocating from another city, or are you expanding in Frisco? When will you be moving? 3 to 6 months, a year, or you don't know, you're just looking around. Why do you want to move to Frisco? Just a couple reasons so that we know your motives. And your preferred method: are you one-on-one, email, group? And then your contact information, so that we can contact you for further specific details. And this information will be kept in the strictest confidence. It is important to put that so that businesses can trust us and know that we will not be sharing this information with any other businesses. The next page is for focus group people who will want to participate in a focus group. And they, to start off, theoretically, we would send a blast email out to a lot of Frisco residents saying we are looking for men, women, teenagers who are interested in being participants of this focus group. And then they can sign up on the website. And this will be just whoever wants to be able to be a part of it, because everyone wants to be a part of something. Everyone wants to feel like their opinions matter and they are important. So this would be a great way to get those people started. And then once the word gets out, they can just go on here and enter their age, if they're married or single, if they have children, because it's important. You can really specify the type of focus groups that you can have and get the max research from it. and this is just the bottom of it. How many years have you lived in Frisco? Someone's not going to want to have a focus group member who has just moved to Frisco and has lived here for 1 year. You want to have someone who has been here for quite a while. I've lived here for my whole life, so I know it by the back of my hand. You want to have someone who knows the city, who knows its development and goals as a town. And what are your interests? It's important to have specific interests based on your business so that you don't have some random person coming in telling their opinion on if they like steak or not. And then email, cell phone number, contact information. Again, it's kept in the strictest confidence. And then one of the last pages is Research Frisco, so businesses can easily just kind of quickly look at the demographics, look at the population growth, how fast it's growing, the income, how culturally diverse it is, and kind of the families that are located here. And then we have an About Us page, which is just a summary of what we do and what our goal is as a company. We really want the best for all the businesses that come into Frisco. And we have a little comment section where you can ask for more information if you want to. So in the future, theoretically, you could franchise this website to other cities instead of just Frisco. So instead of Frisco focus, it could be Kansas City focus or South Lake Carroll focus. So cities similar to Frisco in the growth and development could use this idea and place it in their city. So you just change the name, maybe the picture's on there, but it would be the same content and software. Another thing that would be cool to add in expanding the business would be to get feedback via polls using text. So there could be an app that we would use, and you could do like a daily survey, like how would you feel about a new indoor sports complex coming to Frisco, and then people who have the app would be able to answer the question just in one click, and that way you could get a bunch of different feedback, and it's just like a daily poll thing. So basically the big idea of my website is to give businesses the opportunity for research group feedback on Frisco. Research studies can cost lots of money. Sometimes businesses don't have time when they're from out of country or out of the region, and they just need some information quick to know where they want to be. And this would be a great way for businesses to just set up a focus group, get valuable information on these residents, the actual people of Frisco, and to know where they want to go with their business. And so my quote for this year is, "Only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly," by Robert F. Kennedy. And I thought this quote really explains my whole entire year in ISM, because in a number of ways, because entrepreneurs, first of all, they fail. They make mistakes. They don't do something right the first time, but they keep trying, and they keep trying to advance their company, and they keep trying new things, and that's how they are successful. You don't hear anyone who tried it right on the first time or done it right on the first time. That's why I want to keep pursuing entrepreneurship and keep trying to, even if I fail, even if this website is a terrible idea, you have to keep trying, and then you will be able to succeed. So looking ahead personally, I will plan to continue my studies in ISM next year, and I think I'm going to continue studying entrepreneurship. I think it would be a great idea to join the Young Entrepreneurs Academy in Frisco and hopefully pitch this idea to them so I can get more advice from them and the others in the town and maybe the mentors there. And after high school, I plan to continue my studies at Oklahoma State University. Looking ahead on my website, while this business solution may not be perfect now, there are still a lot of flaws. I'm learning what I've applied from ISM and my quote to keep trying to make it better and succeed. And even if I might fail, I should still keep going at it and trying to advance it. And I know that to have success, you should never give up, improve on my shortcomings, and continue to move forward. Again, that kind of goes hand in hand with my quote. To be great, you have to try a bunch of different things, and that's kind of the overall theme of entrepreneurship. So I hope with this information, I'm on path to a solution that will help businesses evaluate coming to Frisco, and we can make Frisco one of the best cities in the nation. So I kind of reviewed about me, interview process, research. My original work and final product was my website, and then my future goals. So I just wanted to say thank you to my mentor for coming and for allowing me to learn everything about owning a business. I really appreciate your time and meeting with me once a week and just teaching me everything you know. It was a really great experience, and I'm so appreciative of being under your mentorship this year. I want to thank everyone for coming to my presentation. And do you have any questions? Okay, thank you.